Welcome to the Armani group here at USC. This video shows how to pull a single mode tapered fiber. The first step is to turn on the hydrogen tank near the door. We're then going to pull a practice taper. The first step is to turn on the imaging system. So we're going to turn on the lamps first, and then we're going to turn on the computer and open the Modic program, which is a camera software. We're then going to turn on the controller box after this is opened. And we're going to return the stages to the origin by pressing the origin button. Once the stage has been returned to the origin, we're going to press the host or manual on the control box. This connects the stages to the computer. We're now going to go through the connection process and verify the stages are connected. We're going to press next for everything and then start test. We're also going to open the notepad file on the desktop. This holds codes that will later help us connect the stages to the computer. We're going to copy and paste the first two lines while pressing enter. The third line we're going to copy in but not press enter yet. We're now going to prepare the fiber. First, we're going to strip it, leaving a 2 to 3 inch stripped area. We're then going to clean the fiber with alcohol using a Kim wipe. Next, we're going to mount this taper onto the taper holder using the magnetic clips. You should make sure that the fiber is taut across the holder. We're then going to verify the image on the computer using the knobs behind the device. You can see here that the taper is being focused in on. We're now going to start to pull the taper. The first step is to open the hydrogen flow in the torch and verify that the flow rate is at about 44 millimeters per minute. You can see from the black knob that it's at this flow rate. We are now going to take the lighter in one of our hands, and we're going to simultaneously light the hydrogen torch and press enter on the computer. This starts the stage moving at the same time we light the hydrogen torch. We are now going to be very careful and watch that as the taper is being pulled, we're going to use the knobs to focus in on the taper. It should be stable at first, but it might start to move around after a little bit. Make sure to keep focusing on the taper as it moves until you can see green and red colors on the taper. At this point, you should press the stop button and close the flow of the hydrogen torch at the same time. You can see here that if you focus in, you can see the colors on the taper. This means that it's a single mode tapered fiber. Now that the taper has been pulled, we should close the programs. To do this, we should turn off the hydrogen flow and make sure that the hydrogen tank is closed. Thank you. We hope you enjoyed this video. We are now going to pull a real taper. The steps are exactly the same, except that we're going to use the spool. where at the end of the spool, the single mode laser can be connected. First, you should press origin on the controller box. And now, C is going to start pulling the taper. Again, the steps are exactly the same. We're waiting for the origin, for it to get back to the origin. Here she attaches with the magnetic clips and focuses on the screen. She checks the flow rate of the hydrogen. And then lights the system after she has entered the appropriate codes. Again, the first two lines should be copied and pasted, and the third should be entered when lighting the hydrogen torch. And again, we watch the fiber as it was being pulled. Again, it is stopped, the hydrogen flow and the stop button on the controller when the red and green can be seen on the taper. We're now going to disconnect this by moving the camera back first and unscrewing the holder. This entire taper holder can then be lifted up carefully, and this entire apparatus, along with the spool, can be used for resonator testing with the laser.